Today is April 23rd, 2021. My name is Jenna Masahara, and I'll be interviewing Abnash Gill for Coquitlam Heritage Oral History Project. And this is a reminder that this interview is being recorded and will be made available to the public. All right, so thank you for being here, Abnash.
You're welcome.
All right, so can you first start with telling me what year you were born and where?
I was born 1944, village Coquitlam, district Jalandhar, province Punjab, India.
And can you describe what your childhood home was like?
My childhood was very simple but beautiful. When I'm entering from my street, I have to go 3 steps up, and then I enter the courtyard. And house is brick all around the courtyard. Then on my left, the washroom, soon as I enter, left washroom, then there are 2 baskets are sitting. One is all the trimmings of vegetables or leftover whatever food. Another one is just for the garbage. The next is kitchen. And after that, there is a clay oven. That's where our milk simmers whole day long. And in the evening, when we milk our cows and water buffaloes, then we add that milk in there as well. And we add culture to make yogurt. So then we take it out and it sits outside and wrapped in the blanket. Then that makes it settled as a yogurt. Then we churn it and make butter and buttermilk. And next I moved. There's a fruit tree. Under the fruit tree, we have a sandbox sitting up there. On the sandbox, we have 2 clay pots. We keep the water in there. And in the clay pot, because it's sand, it's shade, it keeps it cold as fridge water. On my right-hand side, there is a guest room, so people come and visit whenever. Then there's a veranda. We have 4 pillars, and on 2 of the pillars we have swing. And further down, there are 2 bedrooms. They're big as the veranda, but they're divided into 2 rooms. Then moved further, behind those rooms, there are other 2 rooms. In one room, and it has so many compartments. So we store our wheat, corn, lentils, sugar, like it's a jiggery in English, I think they call it, first stage of a sugar, and flowers. And the other side is still in that same room. Then we have chest drawers, trunk, and there's a shelf on top of those. That's where we keep our extra quilts and sheets and daris settled down. The room addition to that is just a room. So it could be for anything. And that is the house.
And who lived with you?
Live with me, my mother, my father, 2 sisters and a brother, and a great-grandmother. And my grandparents, they lived in the farmhouse. We had a house up there as well. So he lived in their farmhouse. And it was only about 10 minutes away. We always visit them in the morning and in the evening, as we have to milk our cows and buffaloes. And so farming was up there.
Do you remember how many cows you had?
Oh boy, okay.
It's okay if you don't.
How many cows did we have? Two cows, and there was about 3 buffaloes. And they were up there was because my uncle was living in a separate house, so he had his farmhouse was all together. So my dad's brother, he has his animals, we had animals, and my dad's uncle, he had his animal up there. So farmhouse was that way inclined. But a living space was just for my grandparents. But for the animals, it's everyone's animals was up there. So there were lots of animals. Yeah, those animals was kind of our family, really. Mm. Yeah.
So would you consider them pets or like more?
Yes, they were our pet because when the cows or buffaloes give the babies, and female babies are more lucrative, like they're going to make money, and then maybe they said, okay, this new baby is yours, or my sister's, or my cousin's. So then they're kind of yours. So then it becomes yours. And when you got married, if you're marriage age, then that goes with you in your dowry, with your dowry. So we didn't have dogs and cats, no. We didn't. No, my grandparents lived up there, so we really didn't need anyone to keep eye on anything. Like a dog was usually guarded dog. I know in my neighbor house, the farmer's house, they had it, but we didn't because my grandparents lived up there. So maybe that's the reason. No, I have no idea. We didn't have it. No. Mm-hmm.
Nice. And what languages did you speak?
Just Punjabi. Mm-hmm.
And when did you learn English?
Oh boy, when I moved to England.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What sort of activities did you do for fun?
What activities I did for fun? Swings, skipping rope, 5 jacks, make toys out of corn stem, the trunk of the corn. If I peel it and the outside is just like a bamboo and inside have a kind of stuff is like a cork. So I peeled it, so make beds and chairs and tables like that. And we had a really, really good clay in our village. I don't know, maybe every village has it, but I just know about mine. And we made our kitchenwares from that clay. Then you sew things and you knit things and stuff like that.
And did you like play sports growing up or like do art classes or those sort of things?
Nope. I had lots of chores to do.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have that kind of a luxury. Yeah, we played a lot, but nothing particular. Yeah, we skipped rope, as I said, and yeah, gymnastics a little bit. But no, there were lots of chores to do.
And what were those chores?
My chores were about age 10, I started milking my cows and buffaloes. I really enjoyed that. So it was away from house, didn't have to deal with mom and sister. It was a good outing. And my grandmother was there, so it was fun. And sweep the floor and pass things when my mom was cooking. And my younger sister kind of hung around with me. I was responsible for her.
So you mentioned you're passing things to your mom cooking. What sort of food would she make?
We were vegetarians, and we grow our own food as we were farmers. So vegetables, we dig them out in the morning and we eat them in the morning. We dig them out in the evening, afternoon. We made more vegetables. In the morning, what we ate was corn or wheat with yogurt, salt and pepper, and pickle, and we had buttermilk to drink. And in the afternoon, vegetables, beet roti, and buttermilk. In the after school, we had we will go have roasted wheat, roasted corn, roasted wheat. We would have it with sugar, and corn as is, chickpeas with butter, salt, and pepper, and fruit, and sometimes fruit. And in the evening, we would have lentils or vegetables with still wheat or corn and buttermilk. And very last meal, we would have hot milk with jaggery. That's first stage of sugar. That's the basic food we had.
And did you eat with your family during these meals?
Yes, we always had with family, unless lunch was at school because I'm at school. But yes, family.
And when you moved to England, did your meals change, or did they?
Yeah, a lot of changes came. Wow, what a boring food that was. Oh boy, everyone. So it was, and when I went up there, there was not any East Indian shops, and there was not any too many East Indian people. In school, I was the only brown girl was there. So I had all first thing happened, first and first and first. So there were no spices. So we just did whatever we could find. And there used to be one gentleman from a different city once a month would come and take the order for East Indian groceries. Then he will come back and bring that. Then we will take the next order. Then he will come back in a month again. But he still didn't have too many spices. No, we had just had few basics like wheat and lentils.
And then, what about when you moved to Canada? Was there more spices available at that point?
When I moved in 1973?
Yeah.
Not so much. And I didn't, okay, then when I moved up here, 1973, I moved up here. I lived in North Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
My husband came first in 1973 in January. And me and my boys came in May 73. And he passed away December 28th, 1973. So things got changed so quickly. Different country and situation changed. And with that, it's just the situation. I didn't bother finding out anything, actually. Yeah.
What about now? Do you make more Indian dishes?
Yes, lots. We make. Now we don't even have to make. You just go and get them.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, very, very, it's so available now. So much available now. Even ladies' fingers, like we call them, like okra. Okra is, the other day I went shopping and there's a Canadian okra and India's okra. I said, wow, that is so nice. Yes, I'm so glad that now we are growing our stuff right up here. Yeah. It is a lot of change. No, there used to be few shops in Main Street. That's very, very late. I really didn't have the car till 78, 79. So I really didn't go shopping very far either. Just stayed whatever was available. And now we are used to English food, so it didn't really matter now. At the beginning it didn't matter, but now it didn't matter. Yeah.
But who taught you how to make the dishes that you can make now?
Now, you mean by East Indian food?
Yeah.
I saw my mom making them, so I just learned as is. I don't have a recipe or anything, but I know the basics. So from basics, you just do whatever you want to do.
Moving back, so you went to school in India, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
How was those early years of school?
I really, really liked school very much. And my mother didn't put us in school till we was age 7. She wanted us to be children a little longer. She felt all their life they're going to be responsible for this and doing this and let them be children for a longer time. So that's what her attitude. So we didn't go to school till it was 7. First school was in the same village. So actually it was just behind my house. So it was beautiful. And then I had to go to other village from grade 6. So that was about 3 miles walking with other few girls and 3 miles walking back. But I really enjoyed it and it was beautiful.
Do you have what were your favorite courses?
Courses. I didn't have any courses, just regular school. I just finished grade 8 and moved. I was 16 when I left. So I didn't go to school till I was 7. So 16 I moved and now was the time that I would have gone to the city for the further education. It was a plan that way, that my grandmother is going to move with me and I'm going to go to city and I'm going to be a teacher. But things changed as my father moved to England and he was supposed to come back, but he decided to stay there. He said, I'm not coming back, so you guys come. And Mom tried not to go. She tried, but he said, no, you guys come. And I wanted to come then. I used to ask my dad, if Mom doesn't want to come, could you ask me, may I come? Yes. When I came to England though, boy, I did know English. I know ABCs a little bit, but didn't know English at all. So my father took me to the school and dropped me off. And that teacher was so nice, so nice. In her own lunch hour, she would sit and teach me because she couldn't teach me while everyone in the class. So she wouldn't let me go for lunch at home either. So she said, no, don't go. So just share and we stay here. And so she teach me. And I thought that was very special. I felt special. And she picked a student and asked that girl to be with me wherever I go. And that girl took me to my house. The next day she came to pick me up. And then she took me back home again. I thought she lived nearby me or something, so that's why, because I couldn't ask her question because I didn't know what. But then she invited me over to her place. And I keep saying, tell Dad, Mom, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't know how to speak. I won't be able to find the place. And Dad said, no, you're going because she asked, and that's rude if you don't go. He made a little map, and so I went and visited. And she lives near the school. Every day she took a bus to pick me up. Every day she dropped me off. And she came in the morning to pick me up. Then I said, then I asked her not to come because I'm fine. So, and she is still my friend. She is such a good friend. Even I was so busy and I was going through my sorrow. I didn't wrote her, but she did not wait for my letters. She wrote and she wrote and she wrote and she wrote. She didn't give up on me. And that was really nice.
What was your father's job in England?
In England or in India before he came?
Let's both.
Both. Okay. My father, we are farming, we are landowners to start with. So we were all farming as well we are doing other stuff. He went to Singapore and he stayed there. Then he came back. He did a little bit farming again. Then he decided to come to England. And in England, He was a baker. He works with Mother's Pride firm, I think that was the name, Mother's Pride bread bakery. So he worked up there and he worked night shifts. That's what he did.
And did your mom work when she came to England?
Yes, after a long time, after I got married and all that. So she did work with the British Airways as a cafeteria attendant.
Do you remember like any culture shock when you came to England?
Big time, big time. I could start, like, it was a big shock for me altogether because I just lived in a village and my aunt and uncle, they all kind of in different villages. I just went one village to village to see. And I haven't been to city yet. And it was a shock to see city. And I sat in the train for the first time. So never mind about here, I was having all eyes felt all over, even India. And from village to Bombay. And I saw so many different things up there. The trams, that elevator, the ocean, and I saw it is a little trunk and the fish are caught in there. I said, why they're in there? All those things. And I saw the movie for the first time in Bombay. I said, Mom, before I go to England, I need to see the movie. Maybe they're not going to be up there. I have to see them. So then Mom said, okay, let's go to the movie. So I saw a movie for the first time. So everything was so in the ship. Oh boy, oh boy. In the ship, I saw a white woman. She had a straight line on her leg. And I thought, oh, she got a cut. Then I said, cut can't be that straight. I said, okay, doctor did it to her. So something was wrong with her leg. Then a doctor did it. And when I came to England, almost every woman had a straight line. There was stockings. I didn't know. I barely knew socks and stockings. Then that was really like a curious, and my mind was saying, what's that? But then that was that. And so many other things in the ship. So there was English food up there. We didn't know any English food, and we couldn't speak English either. So we go and sit on a beautiful table and looking and staring at food. And we saw a bun, crispy bun, like a really crispy buns, and we thought we knew bread but didn't know the buns. And we are touching it. What is so smooth? And my mother said, okay, break it. Oh, it's bread. Oh, it's bread. Then, butter. Then we love the bread and butter and jam and and cookies, and they give us ice cream. They would give us a lot of fruit to take to our cabins. So that was a good experience. And so it was so big, like a big as a village, I thought. And there was a pool in there. There was movies in there, gymnastic for the children up there. So that was a beautiful, beautiful journey. And when I came to England, so it was a lot of white people. I said, yeah, how am I going to figure out who is who? They all look the same to me. They all looked the same to me, and I was so worried about that I will not be able to figure out who is who. But I guess the brain and eyes got used to it, and then you start figuring out. And it was really nice. And my dad had a house when we went, and their fireplaces, I really, really, really like the fireplaces. I would clean them, those marbles and tiles. Oh, I love those fireplaces. They were so beautiful, so beautiful. I enjoyed that very much. And the gardens, parks, then Easter parade, Christmas lights, going to the movies, playing soccer. That's when we came and played soccer. my dad. So it was, generally it was beautiful experience.
You meant like you were like one of like the only brown people in your class.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever feel othered or different from your classmates due to this?
I don't know. I never had any bad experience in my whole entire life. Even here, there, people have it. I don't know why I don't have it. I don't have it. I never had it. Never had it. Never had it. Like I was treated so special and so well. Like as I told you, Catherine, my friend, and the teacher, yes, they were very nice. And the neighbors, they were really nice. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any bad experience in my whole entire life, really.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. It is very good, actually. I don't know how come, but I didn't.
And you graduated from, I guess, high school?
Yes, I went to school, and my age, 16, and I could go only for school only 6 months, and then that school was done. And then I think I just didn't know if I could handle it because there was not anyone to help me properly. And I went and got a job, actually, with British Airways as a cafeteria attendant. And then they keep sending me to little small classes. They keep asking me to improve myself. Then they want me to be a cashier. Then they wanted to be want me to be a supervisor, and that was really nice. Everyone helped me uplift my spirit and improve myself. And I keep saying, my English is not good. It's fine. So I became a catering officer up there. So each time they send me to British Airways school, like a training center thing. So I became a catering officer at the end.
Do you know how many years you were there?
I did there for almost 11 years. I lived in England for 12 years, and I guess I worked for about 11.
And so, like, during this time, you met your husband?
Yes. That is another story. That's a love story goes on. Yes, he saw me. I used to change my bus in his city, and he saw me up there, and he came and he wanted to talk to me. I just told him off. Bugger off. I said, don't ever bother me and leave me alone. And that man did not bother me. He didn't leave me. He left me alone. But he did. He made friends with everyone else. With my aunt, with my mom, and he went and worked Friday night with my dad, made him love him so much. And the supervisor at work, he met everyone, co-workers, and he just keep telling them, and I just ignored him. And then one day I came home, and he's sitting home and having tea with my family. I said, oh God, I was very upset. I didn't know my parents are meeting him. And then he was at home. And then I got very, very pissed off. And I got angry that why he was there. And my mom didn't say anything. She said, okay, come down, have food. Okay. I said, I'm not coming. And she brought food in my room and sit and talk to me. She said, that boy likes you and we like him. And your aunt likes him too. And then dad comes and he said, he's a very hard worker. Hardworking people don't fail in their life. And that's how they convinced me. Then I changed my mind as well. I said, well, he didn't bother me, so it means he's a good listener. So he was a very good husband. Very good father, very good in with everyone. He was very caring person towards everyone. Yeah, but he had a very short life.
So he went to Canada first.
Yes, we planned it, and I didn't want to come with him because I wanted to go and settle down properly and buy a house. And I had a house up there. I was comfortable with children. I didn't want to bring the children and me at the same time. It would be difficult, and I'd rather stay behind and let him get settled down, and then we will come. Yeah. I was still willing to stay a little longer, but he said, if you're not coming, I'm coming back. I said, okay, I'm coming. I didn't want him to come back. I wanted to move
Right.
here, yeah. But it was very developing country, so it would be good future for children.
So what sort of job was he getting in Canada?
My husband was very creative, carpenter, so a wooden machinist specialist. So he worked with some lumber, and then he worked for Wasps actually at the furniture store. So he would fix their furniture when they're delivering, when the delivery happened and they break or something. So because he was a very good artist, so he used to fix the whatever is broken. So that's the job he liked the most. Then he stayed with that. And we used to build houses as well in England as well. So he was good at those things. And he did remodel houses as well when he was. And he bought a house.
So you mentioned that he died shortly after you guys arrived in Canada. What did he die from?
Oh, we haven't even bought a car. And he was crossing the road from the crosswalk. And two cars stopped, the other car stopped. And then the fourth car was coming, and somehow he didn't stop. He just hit him and he died right there. Just in front of my house. It was really the first time I didn't got up and make breakfast for him because it was our wedding anniversary day, and he said, "Don't bother getting up. I will come back in a couple of hours, and you guys be ready to go out." And otherwise, I would have seen him die. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was their family already here in Canada when you arrived here, or were they all like back in England and India?
I didn't have anyone up here. We didn't have anyone. No one at all. Just me, my husband, and two children. We didn't have anyone. But he knew a family from his village up here. But other than that, I didn't have. He didn't have any relatives or anyone. No, we didn't.
And how did you support yourself?
How did I support myself? What I did, North Vancouver was very expensive area. I sold that house because one thing, he died right there, and it was difficult for me, and I decided to have a new start, beginning with me and my children. So I sold my house in North Vancouver and bought the house on Hillcrest up here in Coquitlam, and I rent out the basement, and I worked as well. I worked whatever I could get a job. I had to see what my children are doing. So with my children's schedule and whatever I could do, I did. It didn't matter what I was doing. it mattered that I have to be at home at this time and I have to leave at this time. So first I used to work night shift because I want so my children would go to sleep. Then I'm up. I left them home alone. But my older son was very responsible child. He was born irresponsible. Actually, wrote a story. I said, now I know why he was born uh, after 11 months of marriage, and he was born irresponsible. Even as a child, he was just even a 3-year-old. He was irresponsible. He wanted to put the things away. He wanted to fix things. He always was that way, and he was very responsible child. So I used to leave them, and I used to phone about 9. I said, okay, don't answer the phone. So they would sleep, and then I would come home about 11, 12, 1. Yeah, things, yes, they were difficult. And then when the younger ones started going to school, I started getting taking a job very early in the morning. So they both would go to school. Then I wanted to be home by 3 or 4. So then I worked at old folks' home, hotels. It was not, didn't matter. Didn't matter. We delivered newspaper in the morning with my children. Yeah, but Coquitlam was very nice place, and I wanted to hide. So it was a good hiding place for me. I didn't want to know anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want anyone to know that I am a mother with 2 children. I was scared that someone will guide us or takes us the wrong way. And I didn't I wanted to stay with my own ideas, and I didn't want to meet anyone. But we used to do newspaper, and the bus was right there on my street. So it was really great. Schools was very walking distance. Monday school, then middle school was walking distance, Centennial School, high school was walking distance, library, sports center, everything was walking distance, and Safeway and banks was walking distance too. So I bought the house here, everything we could walk and do stuff. And we went to parks and museums, and we did, yeah, all the Queen Elizabeth Park, Suspension Bridge, and Mental Garden. Uh, we did old homes in New Westminster. We saw a lot. So we just did that, but we didn't try to mingle with anyone. And it was so nice. The bus driver used to keep watch for me, that if I'm late, he would slow the bus and would stop it at my front of my house. That was so nice, so nice. And vice versa, if I didn't have to go to work, then I would wake up because he's going to look for me. I would wave him that okay, today I'm not going, and that was very special. The Coquitlam was quiet place, as I said, wanted to hide. But we didn't do anything with the community or groups, nothing like that. But my son joined Air Cadet, and my younger one joined the Beaver. And from there on, they went to play soccer, but I couldn't take them. But other people, they said, we will take them. So I found the community was really nice. People just helped me, but I still didn't want to talk to many people. And when they were grown up a little bit, so then they start having friends over, and then I start having their birthday parties, Christmas parties, Halloween parties at my place. So that's the way I start meeting a little bit. Then in 1980, I sold my Hillcrest house. I took a chance. The Riverview was developing, and I bought a lot up there. My 16-year-old, he was very creative, and he always liked fixing things. I knew he will be good at good helper up there, and we so that's what we did. We bought a lot, and we built it, and that's the way I get to know the city hall people, the tradesmen I had to find, and then I gradually get to know a little bit community as well. So what we used to do while we were building the house, we would camp in the house. We did not rent any place. So that way we saved that money as well. So we camped in the same house what we were building. But my house, I was so blessed, my houses were selling like so fast. Every 4 months I was selling the house. I would buy a lot. That one is sold. That one has a roof. We are in there. So I was selling every 4 months, and that I made good money up there, really good money. And in 1986, my older son got married, a girl from Vancouver, and they lived in Ottawa for a while. Then they moved back here again. They came and lived with me. When my younger one finished his school, done his school, he was a really a good student as well. And between that, I heard there was a Punjabi class was going on in Vancouver on the radio. So I decided I'm going to take my children up there so they will learn Punjabi and meet our Punjabi community. So it used to be only on Friday, and I make it work for me. So I would take them up there. Then now I have a car as well. So my older son, he did for a few months and he quit. He didn't want to do. But my younger one took very much interest in it, and he did really well up there. He bought lots of trophies. His teachers really liked him, and he felt he learned a lot. And even now he can read, he can write, he can stand and give a speech. He's that good. Very proud of him. Like, he's that good. When he finished school, he was good in French as well. He got a job as a page with House of Commons in grade 12. When he finished, he went to Ottawa and got a job, and he studied up there. So 86, my older one, as I said, he got married, and then as he got married, so I met their family. Then I get to know lots of people as well. And then he had the babies. My older one started having children, and his wife didn't want to be a stay-home mom. Then I volunteered myself that, okay, I will look after the children. That's when I stopped building houses. I stopped working. I stopped building, and but I then start running, working for community center in the evening, like multicultural group. Just in the evening when my children came home and they look after their children, then I would go out in the evening to multicultural groups. Then I meet people up there, and that time I did Lena from Victoria. She wanted to do a play called Sister Stranger, and I provide her with actress. I went to schools and asked kids to come and help. with that play, and I took few people from East Indian community as well. There was a actress. Her name is Valvinder, and she still does someplace, and she came and helped. And it happened in New Westminster, Canada Way. Now I forgot the name. Shadbolt.
Oh,
Remember Shadbolt Art Center? That's where the play happened, and I'm so proud of it. So proud of it. That time I really worked hard, so I had to go to the restaurants, so they would donate some food for that play, and I really worked hard. I said, but I'm never going to do that again. It was so much work, so much work. Then 1996, my younger son got married and he moved to California. And then he started asking me, could you clean out your writing? Because when my husband passed away, I didn't have any family, and I started writing things down. But I somehow always put the date on. And I never wrote it in thinking, but I'm going to make a book. And sometimes I just wrote it, pick up the children's painting, and just over the other side, I just scribble about how I feel. I couldn't sleep, and I was thinking, but I start throwing them in a drawer. Not in order, just throw there. But my younger son is very good at those things. So he remembered that I used to do that. And he asked me to tidy up that and edit it and put it together. As I have time now as well, even though I have grandchildren, but still there's time. So I think he's worried about me. He's not here because he was the talker one. The older one is the doer one, and he's worried that about me, and so he thought he wanted me to get busy, giving me things to do. I didn't want to open that box. It's too many painful memories. It took me a year to open and look because he just keep on harping and keep on saying it. Then I opened it and so wrote it again in order. As I said, Nadeem Parmar, he's a very good writer. I was reading his book. Then I saw his telephone number in there. I phoned him that I got some writing about myself, my life, and I wanted somebody to type it out. Could you help me to type that out? He said, okay, bring it over. So I took those papers to him, and he read them. Then he phoned. He said, no, this should be a book. It will be a good book for the young girls. And then he sent those writing to the publisher, and that's how it became a book. Meri Duniya Mere Din, my world, my days, and it is in Punjabi and some part is in English. And that's when, as my grandchildren was growing up, then I started going to the libraries as well in Coquitlam. And there was in the newspaper, I used to read local newspaper a lot. I wanted to know what is going on, even though I'm not involved. And there was an ad in the paper that now newspaper editor or publisher, I don't know, whatever you call them, she was going to come to the library, and she wanted a mature writers come. And I just went for the heck of it. And she asked us to write something. And I only could think of me and my grandchildren. Okay, I wrote the story, why 3 generation should live under one roof, and what grandparents make difference in family's life. And she liked it. I was surprised. She liked it and she put it in the Now paper. And it went viral, do you say? I went to the doctor, it was in the doctor's office, went to community center, they were in the community centers. And then when I joined Dogwood, there was a lady, she asked me if I'm that person who wrote this story. I said, yes, I am. And she said she liked it so much and she changed. She kept her granddaughter with her and her son with her. And when I take my grandchildren to school, I start noticing too that the grandparents start picking up the children. I really felt it brought a change. I really felt it. And that was something to be proud, but not that I thought about it well. And actually, House of Commons used that article to give more rights to the grandparents, which my younger son told me, and I didn't believe him. I thought he just kind of uplifting my spirit because he always did that. I said, no, give me the proof. Then he sent me the file. He's saying, Coquitlam, their grandmother is saying the 3 generations, grandparents make difference. So that was kind of neat. Not that I knew it was going to happen, but I just, for the heck of it, I just did, and it happened. As I was taking care of the grandchildren, so my idea was all about children's lullabies. I used to tell lullabies in Punjabi. And then I thought, okay, we're going to lose them if we don't write them. And I start writing them. I wrote the stories, lullabies, and I asked somebody to do the illustration. And I asked them what to do. And that young lady did such a good job. And so I published this. And they're in the libraries now. And then after this, then I did, that was grandmother's lullaby. Then I did mother's lullabies. They're a little bit newer, and they're kind of illustrated as well. And they're all in the libraries. I did this book. It says, Chalo kuj praniyan gallan naal sanj paiye. It's saying, let's go and connect the past. And it's still the children's books. And the question you're asking now to me, that what did we do? This is what I did in this book. It's kind of children book. Like when the children are Canadian born and the grandparents are from India, and they're asking their relatives, grandmother or mom or aunt or relatives, what did you play? What kind of plays did you do? So I'm talking about those. And what kind of chores I did, or what kind of aunt's school was. So I write those things. And these questions my younger son used to ask me. I said, if he's asking me, the other must be asking. And what festival we did. And I did that. I wrote a few songs in there. So these books are in the libraries as well. And lately I did this book is Shabad Guru. Shabad Guru, it is from our Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikhism book, first composition. Shabad Guru means the words are the teachers, that we learn more from the words, and it is first composition, and it has been wrote it in Punjabi, then whatever is saying in Punjabi is saying in English, and translations. And I put the musical instruments in there too. So the children can keep it in their toys books. So it kind of, and I made it colorful. And it's not I did all this artwork. Another young lady, I knew her grandmother, and she grandmother told me that my granddaughter is a artist, and she did that. She did a very good job, and I asked her to do it the way I wanted it, but she did it very good job. I'm very proud of that too. So this is. And this is when I joined the dogwood. There was a lady named John Coffey who used to live on my street, and whenever I see her, we say hi to each other, and she was friendly. One day she came and knocked on my door, and she said, "Why don't you come and join the WHO group? It's a women's group. Women help others." I said, "Sure." And the next time she went, I went with her. And that's how I joined the community center. And she took me. From there, Irene Turnbull, she asked me to join the Life Writers group. I told her, I said, my English is not that great. I won't be able to do all this writing. And she said, don't worry, just join. I will help you. And that was a wonderful friendship came about. Like I would write a story, and then she would come over at my place. We will have tea, and she will edit it, and that was really great. And Life Writers Group, they gathered once a month, and each month, whoever wrote a story, we recited. Everyone listened to that story. The leader who will take our stories and keep them. After a year, we would she would put all the stories together and make a book, something like this. So then we have everyone's stories, and then it's kind of to me. It's becoming a history book for me, for my children. So that's what I'm writing. As you asked me what my village was like, so I wrote that, what my house was like, what my farmhouse was, what my grandparents were like, and how I met my husband, that story, and my animals, my grandfather, the school in India, and what my grandfather used to do. And I talk about that. And every year I have this book every year, and I'm not even showing to my children yet. I keep setting it. I said, okay, when I'm gone, they will have the mystery up there. Yes. When I was in the Life Writers group, the librarian came to our group, and they said, we want seniors to come and join this group. They want to write a book, Coquitlam Then and Now. It's only senior could participate. They had a grant to put that history together. So I put my hand up too. I thought I will find someone. I thought I was not capable, but I found so many people and no one turned up for me. Luckily, my sister moved here from Ottawa. Then I started interviewing. I interview people. Then she would write that down. And then, meanwhile, I found a person, Mr. Boxy, who was the first child born in Fraser Mill, and that was so special. Then I asked him to come to library, so we interviewed him, and he actually met a person who went to school with him, and then he told the stories, and that's how come I became part of this book.
Do you mind talking a bit about your family history?
Family history. I think we did talk about a little bit that my father went to Singapore and came to beer farms as beer landowners. My grandfather came to Canada, actually. But he never, ever, ever talked about it. Never. We just know he did. But he never talked about Canada, what was like it was. But now, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing he took so many good ideas from here and he put them into his village. Now I feel that, okay, that's why he did this, that's why he did that. We have a Gurdwara temple and Hindu temple and Sikh temple. It was kind of together. There's a Hindu temple, there's a Sikh temple, and we have the same water well and tanks to store the water for everyone, so they can come and have shower, or animal can drink water. And same thing was the Hindu as well. And we had a big humongous room for travelers. If they are traveling and they want to stop somewhere, so they can stop up there. And when the children got married, it's tradition that the boy is going to come to the girls' village and they're going to marry it up here. So they need a place for them as well. So they will stay there. And for the school, what he was involved with the school as well. He made a night school. We did not have electricity just yet. The children who was helping in the farm, so they couldn't go to school during the day, or some of them were older, so that's why they couldn't go to school. My dad and the teachers would have a bonfire and sit around in the evening and would teach those kids in the evening. That was my grandfather's idea. I'm so proud of it. It's such a good idea, even though we didn't have electricity, but he promoted education. And he used to read the newspaper a lot. As our farmhouse didn't have the walls, so people used to come and sit with him, and he would read the newspaper, then they would discuss about the newspaper, they would discuss about school, and sometime he bought a movie from the city, and it would be, whole village will watch it, it would be on the sheet somehow. That's how I remember. It would be in the sheet, and everyone will sit around and watch it by the Gurdwara and Mandir and that place where we always had gathering. That movie would be how to work together in the farm. It's always some kind of educational movies. Nothing the Bollywood one, but the educational movie. And I thought that he did, I was very proud of him. Very proud of him.
What was your grandfather's name?
He's Fateh Singh. Fateh Singh. His name was Fateh Singh.
What was your father's name?
My father's name? Sarwan Singh. Mm-hmm. and it was so. Even my mother-in-law liked her father-in-law better than her father. And now I see it why he was better, because he traveled, so he learned things from here. So what the change they need to bring. So he didn't went for the war, but he thought he's going to just change his village. So that's what he did. That's what he used to do.
Do you know around what year he traveled to Canada?
Not a clue. Not a clue. I know my dad came to England in 1955 because we came after 5 years. I haven't got a clue. Must be before even Gatamaru, most probably, and came, and maybe he didn't like it and he just went back and didn't want to talk about it. The situation were bad then. Yeah. Even still, some of the things get bad now, even now. So most probably that's why he didn't talk about it. And he didn't want my father to go either. He didn't give him the money. He said, no, you're not going. But he went and borrowed from his sister and from his in-laws. He went anyway, because grandfather did it. So maybe we had that bug in us, traveling bug. I think grandfather did it, my dad did it, and we moved from England up here. Now my son is gone to America, so maybe we have that. So it was really great.
And do you have heirlooms passed down to you?
Yes, I have. Actually, we did here family heirloom up here as well. I bought mine, and I have a group, women group, and I asked few of them to come, and they bought their own looms. Yes, I do. I have my great-grandmother's shawl. And I have my great-uncle's tumbler. It's beautiful art on it. And my grandfather's kind of a pitcher thing, hold water in there. And my mother's eyeliner. And my father's brass dish has his name carved on it. That's about it. Because we have to share. So we moved from India to England. So I could have only few. So the brother had, my mother lived with my brother. So he has more. Then my sister is there. So my other sister. So I took whatever I wanted.
Yes.
So they have theirs, and lots of pictures as well. Yes. Actually, I was going through my pictures. I said, oh my God, I dress like my grandmother. I don't dress up like my mother. My younger sister does. I just noticed that. I did no somehow I went to, oh yes, she did this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, picture bring lots of memories.
And do you want to talk a bit about your religion? Do you still practice it?
Yes, I'm a Sikh, and I too enjoy the teachings of the Sikhs. It's actually same rules as Canadian rules, how the Canadian rules are, and Sikhism the rules are very, very similar. Like we welcome everyone. We don't convert. We leave people as is. Anyone come to our Gurdwara, meaning temple, come and eat, and we share our food, and we uplift other community, and that is how Sikhism actually came about. When the Mughals was ruling, and the Hindus was so divided, untouchable. You're this and you're going to stay this, and you're that, you're just going to stay that. And Sikhism came about as no, we are all human beings, doesn't matter what they do. That is a job they're doing. That doesn't mean that they have to stay there and cannot improve and can't marry the different community. So that is the Sikhism. and I do like the teaching of it, and I feel this is similar as Canada, and I do practice. Yes, I do go to Gurdwara, and but we don't convert. We don't. If you want to convert, you have to read it and understand it, but we don't say come and convert. No, we don't.
And where is the temple here?
There are lots of temples now. The very, very first temple was in Fraser Mill itself. And the second, the first one outside in the community, it was on 2nd Street in Vancouver. And now we have lots. And which one I go to, that is Akali Singh Sikh Gurdwara on Skeena. It's between Lohit First and Highway and Skinner Road. And I go up there. I enjoy it very much. Very much. And up there, I run yoga classes through that Gurdwara. So I talked to the committee. I said, we need to keep our community healthy, and that's what I would like to do. And they give me permission, and they don't charge us for the room at all. But I hired a teacher, and so I want to pay the teacher. So we charge $10 a month because we don't have to pay the Gurdwara. And it is very, very multicultural. It's not just for Sikh community. And I am so proud of it. We have 70 to 100 people comes to Gurdwara for that. And it's really, really, really great. And ladies do Simran, means we sing along in the morning. And I asked them if ladies want to do that. And Saturday morning, 6 o'clock, Gurdwara is very quiet. No one is there. And the roads are quiet. We go up there and sing hymns. And after that, we make breakfast for everyone. We sit around and eat. And then if we go for a walk, we kind of spend time till around 10. And that's very uplifting and peaceful, and we are helping others, and I enjoy that very much. And I been teaching Punjabi from a long time as well. Since I had time, so I used to rent a room from Dogwood on Sunday for 2 hours, and I used to teach local children Punjabi because the ladies asked me to do that. So I used to charge them because I had to pay the room. And from there, I've been teaching Punjabi in West Vancouver as well. There's West Vancouver community. They want me to come and teach their children, and they take everything. Like they took the room from the community center as well, but they are in charge of those stuff. But I just go and teach, and I enjoy that very much as well.
With COVID, how has your activities been affected?
Yes, COVID. So it didn't affect me too much because of my age group. Like we are slowed down. We are not as running around like you would. So it because of its age, but from the Gurdwara, there's no yoga classes, no Simran, no Punjabi classes. At Dogwood community, there's no friendship group, there's no WHO group, there's not Life Writers group. I run 2 South Asian group. They're not there. Started Bocce, that's not there. And only thing I do now, not even now, last year I did yoga classes in Dogwood, but in the parking lot. So that really turned out well. Even other community, when they saw us doing it, and they start joining us. And but now they're saying there's too much, and I'm waiting. Maybe next month, hopefully, we could do that in the parking lot. But we do go. We didn't stop going out though. We go for walks once a week, and we get to know our community, trails and parks, and Mandi Park, Town Center Park. We're at and Barnett Highway, Mariner Way up there, and Colony Farm. We do a lot of stuff in Colony Farm. Actually, Colony Farm, I've been doing Tiyan. Tiyan, that's back home. We used to once a year. The girls who got married, they used to come to the village again, and all those girls will come and be a single for a few days. Leave their husband and all talk about the husband and the mother-in-law, what is going on. So I start doing that in Colony Farm. It is a beautiful place. And once a year in August, we do that. We sing and dance up there. And we go for walks up there a lot too. Yes, I really like that area. Yes, because I developed Riverview Heights, so it was closer for me up there. And I actually like walking late night. When my children were small, when I tucked them in, and now I'm done, and I wanted to go for a walk. So I used to go walk around that way. I used to enjoy that. And I felt very safe. I really didn't felt scared at all. And I enjoyed those walks in overnights.
What other sort of things have you got involved with this?
I got involved with Remembrance Day. 2009, I started going to Remembrance Day gathering. And I didn't know much about it. And then I heard about Bukam Singh. He was a Canadian soldier, and he died, and then somebody figured it out, and then it was in the paper, and then I start feeling that mine is in there too. And he was, you know how we poppies, and we call Flanders Day? That's what we call? What do you call? Flanders Day?
The Founders Field, is that?
Yes, so yeah, I can't say it. Okay, then I said, well, okay, our Bukam Singh was in there too, so now it's made it special. Even though I used to go, but I didn't felt that I felt anything of it. But once I knew that Bukam Singh was part of it, and Stephen Purewal, he gathered the history from England, and he put that history on the wheels. So he was showing it in the museums, in the schools, and he came to Coquitlam as well. And I phoned people, let's go and see. And I was very impressed with that history as well. And then 2015, for the first time, I did wreath for the 6 soldiers. And from that on, I try to ask different family each year to get involved. So from 2015 till now, every year, I ask different family come and join, and they've been doing it. And so this way, now the whole family, they're now 2020, so there's lots of other community family join in now. Lots of East Indians start coming in, just because that was in the paper. And and Stephen put all about the history together, and I started doing it. Now the Coquitlam is getting involved as well. And when I did for the first time, Try newspaper, they covered the story, and they did a very, very good job. And they educated, I feel they educated the Coquitlam community that we are part of it too. So that's what I've been doing. That I'm very proud that we are involved. So now my children know, my grandchildren know now. So other family are getting to know that we are part of it, and that's our commitment as well in Canada, not just other community. Our community was part of it too.
And you mentioned that you were part of the Dogwood board.
Yes, when I was a member of WHO group and Friendship group and Life Writers group, somebody came and asked me if I would come and become a board member, and I told Willie that my English is not that great, but she had that. She said, "Oh, never mind. Yes, your English is fine." I said, "Okay." I joined in, and I learned a lot. I learned that. Why those rooms are not full anymore. They were complaining that we don't have enough community coming in. I said, why is rooms are empty? Because the other communities are moving in, but they're not joining. Then what I decided, I stayed a board member for a year. Then I removed myself, and actually my sister did. She took the board job, and I kind of moved out, and I started working in the community. I put ad in the paper, now news, and then I have about 30 women now coming in Dogwood, the South Asian women group, and we run one in the morning, they're just ladies. In the evening we have men and the ladies gathering, and we sing, we tell news, we jokes, and have fun. And we are getting to know that we should be part of the community as well. We shouldn't be just outside. Everyone is running to Surrey all the time, Surrey. And I'm saying, well, this is our Coquitlam, so we should be involved up here. And we do a lot of stuff at the Town Center Park as well. It's a beautiful place. Yes, Coquitlam has changed a lot. It used to be very quiet, sleepy. For me, it was a hiding place. But since 1980, to me, 1980, that's when I changed. I feel that's when Coquitlam changed. Because City Hall used to be right up here. The City Hall from here moved behind Coquitlam Center. And the police station moved up there too. So much it's really got boomed. Now City Hall makes a lot of income tax, and things are getting better. I used to feel that why don't we have really nice parks? The Surrey has a beautiful park. Why don't, since we have a town center, I am so happy that we got beautiful parks too now. And I was not going out as well, so I didn't know too many. I just knew some, but not all of them. Yes, it is really, I am living in a beautiful city. I'm living in a beautiful British Columbia. I feel if there is a heaven, I feel Canada is heaven on earth. And I am very blessed to be in Canada and get to know the Fraser Mill community, the history, and Remembrance Day history. And I am glad that I am able to be involved. It's not just I'm involved, my children helps me a lot to stay involved. And very proud. thank you for asking me to come and join in.
Thank you for being here and doing this.